You ever get that little feeling, that worry in the back of your mind that using all this AI might be making you, well, a little lazy? Like you're outsourcing your own brain? Well, today we're going to dive into some really fascinating research that totally challenges that fear. We're going to uncover a concept called cognitive sovereignty, which is really the art of staying in the driver's seat of your own mind, even when you're working super closely with AI.
So let's just tackle the big question head on, the one that's on pretty much everyone's mind. As we bring these incredibly powerful tools into our day-to-day lives, are we accidentally giving away our ability to think for ourselves? To be really blunt about it, is AI making us dumber? It's a real anxiety, and it's definitely one worth digging into.
And look, this isn't just some vague feeling. The source material for this explainer just nails it. There's this massive assumption out there that the more tangled up we get with AI, the more we lose a little piece of ourselves. It just kind of feels true, doesn't it? But what if that whole assumption is dead wrong?
To get to the bottom of it, researchers studied the relationship that over 1,000 people have with AI at work. And we're not talking about some quick online poll, no. This was a super in-depth look at how real people are actually using these tools in their professional lives, day in and day out.
And what they found completely flips the script. You know that deep-seated fear that more AI means less you? The data actually showed the exact opposite. In fact, get this, the people with the deepest, most frequent partnership with AI, they actually scored the highest on cognitive sovereignty.
Okay, so here's the absolute key. It turns out it's not about how much you use AI. It's all about how you use it. The big idea here is something called the cognitive locus of control. And the best way to picture it is with this metaphor of a cognitive light cone. Just imagine your mind as a spotlight. Is that light shining from the inside out? Are you the one directing the beam, using AI to explore and build on your own thoughts? Or is it shining from the outside in, where you're just passively watching what the AI comes up with? That one little difference, it changes everything.
And this single distinction revealed two totally different paths people are taking. This is where we meet our two main characters, if you will, the co-author and the outsourcer.
So let's break this down, because the contrast is fascinating. Co-authors, they pull AI right into the messy middle of their thinking process. They're intentional. They use it like a sparring partner to test their ideas, to find blind spots, to shape the final result together. They are firmly inside that cognitive light cone. And because of that, they keep the tightest grip on their own thinking. And then you've got the outsourcers. They keep AI at arm's length. They delegate a task, they take the output, and they pass it along, usually without really getting their hands dirty. They're outside the process. And this is where they score the lowest, leaving them wide open to something called cognitive drift.
And this quote just brilliantly captures the paradox, right? What looks like a risky, deep entanglement is actually powerful, active engagement. And what looks like a safe, healthy distance, just handing off a task, that's actually the danger zone. That's where you can slowly start to lose your grip.
So the big question is, how do we make sure we stay on that co-author path? Well, the good news is the research gives us a really clear toolkit. It's a framework built on 3 key pillars to help us hang on to our cognitive sovereignty. Let's break them down.
Okay, here they are. The big 3: awareness, agency, and accountability. If you have these 3 things in place, you can integrate AI as deeply as you want and still be the one steering the ship.
First up is awareness. This is really about thinking about how you think. It's not enough to just say, oh, I use AI to summarize notes. Awareness is asking the next question. Okay, since I started doing that, am I getting better at finding the key themes myself, or am I maybe forgetting how? It's about actually noticing how the process of your thinking is shifting.
Next up is agency. This is all about control. Are you in the driver's seat choosing when and how to use AI for a specific reason? Or have you noticed, and this can be really subtle, that your job has kind of been reshaped around the AI, forcing you into a workflow that you didn't consciously choose? Having that real choice is absolutely key.
And finally, accountability. This one is so crucial because it's all about staying grounded with other people. Do you have colleagues or mentors who really get how you think? People who will challenge your ideas, push back, and who would notice if your work started to feel a little off. That human feedback loop is a vital safeguard.
Because without those 3 pillars, you run the risk of what the research calls cognitive drift. And this is the real, sneaky danger of the outsourcer path. It doesn't show up with a big bang. It's a quiet, slow buildup of tiny little inefficiencies, all the little tasks you hand off, until one day you kind of look up and realize you can't quite put your finger on what your unique contribution is anymore.
And this is really what's at stake. It's not that the thinking stops. The work gets done, the reports are written. The risk is that the thinking is no longer being authored by you. You become a manager of outputs, not the author of ideas, and that is a really profound loss. So, I'll leave you with this question to mull over. As you use these incredible tools, where is your cognitive light cone shining? Is it shining from within, with you firmly in the director's chair, co-authoring what comes next? Or is it shining from the outside, leaving you to just watch the show? The choice, at least for now, is still ours to make.